Many years ago, a wonderful children's television show had a song that would play on it quite frequently, and it would go something like this. One of these things is not like the others. One of these things does not belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the others by the time we finish our song? And by the time we finish our video today, you will know that the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Cornell is certainly not like the others in terms of the other undergraduate schools at Cornell University. And that is because on the supplement to the Common Application for Cornell, each college at Cornell gets to ask its own question or questions. And all of them really ask one big question seeking a 650-word response. You can watch my How to Get into Cornell University video to learn more about all of those, with the exception of one or two, which are pretty similar to the other ones. But the only two that sort of do things very differently, and one is very different, which is CALS. One is engineering. They ask two shorter questions. But in the case of CALS, we have three questions, up to three questions that you could theoretically answer in the supplement specifically to CALS. And so I want to talk about the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, which, by the way, fun fact, is one of the public colleges that are available at the undergraduate level at Cornell. So keep that in mind, you strategists out there, in terms of in-state residents, but also others who may be looking to, enter Cornell in a less common way than others. Definitely keep that in mind and research the public schools at Cornell, and not just the private schools at Cornell. But let's talk about the actual Cal supplement, because on the supplement there are three questions. And I want you, if you're a serious applicant to CALS, the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, to answer all of them. Number one, why are you drawn to studying the major you have selected? Please discuss how your interests and related experiences have influenced your decision. Specifically, how will an education from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, otherwise known as CALS, and Cornell University help you achieve your academic goals? 650 words. This is the one that matches most closely to the other questions asked by the other schools at Cornell if you're applying to those. And so I really like the way this one actually is set up and framed, because this question is seeking out the perfect why college response, which is connect the dots between your past experiences, your current motivations, and your long-term goals, and make the star of the essay you engaging in your passions at CALS on Cornell's campus. So to do that, you need to, as always, have a strong thesis in your introduction paragraph. That thesis needs to be supported in showing detail throughout your body paragraphs, and your conclusion paragraph should not restate anything in the intro paragraph. It should go beyond the intro paragraph to say something new. Now that you've proven your case throughout the body, you want to say something new, thought-provoking, and intriguing, if you will, at the end, that makes the CALS readers stand up and say, basically a standing ovation to your application. Let's put it that way. Again, when you look at that prompt, explain your motivation. Hopefully there is proof in the pudding, as I often say, meaning that you can actually point to specific things you have not just thought, but actually done that give you confidence that CALS is the right fit for you. But then you need to really use the majority of the body to show yourself engaging in the life of CALS at Cornell. And that requires research. So the genre of essay that this is a personal persuasive research essay. Always keep that in mind to make it the best possible essay that you are going to be conveying your fit for CALS and Cornell in. But after that essay, unlike the other schools, which max out basically at 650 words in their supplements, in an engineering's case, I think it's even less. But in the case of CALS, they are asking you an optional short answer question to share additional information about your background, interests, and experiences as they relate to aspects of the Cornell CALS mission. Any responses submitted will be included in the holistic review of your application. Electing not to respond will not impact your application. That's very hard to believe, because skipping out on an opportunity versus taking full advantage of it, I just don't see how one can say that last line. But in any case, Let's help you take advantage of these opportunities. The first optional question is, at Cornell CALS, we aim to leave the world better than we found it. So we seek out those who are not simply driven to master their discipline, but who are also passionate about doing so to serve the public good. Please elaborate on an activity or experience you've had that made an impact on a community that is important to you. We encourage you to think about community broadly. This could include family, school, or local and global communities. So on this essay, you have a real nice opportunity to show a side of yourself that sort of humanizes you as much as possible. You already have touched on sort of your trajectory into CALS and why hopefully it's the right fit for you considering your long and short-term goals. But this essay is much more about trying to show how you are in your sort of your character so overall has been impacted by experiences in your life. So again, please elaborate on an activity or experience you have had that made an impact on a community that is important to you. So it's basically you showing that you can affect positive change either at the very micro scale in your family, or slightly larger scale like locally at your school and your community, or maybe on a grander scale if you are an influencer or something like that who has a larger reach than the typical 17-year-old. But whatever the case may be, what have you done? And be creative about it. Again, they're basically giving you this optional question, answer it, and try your best to answer it in a way that is in line with your value system. There is no right or wrong answer, but how you answer it is a window into what you value, and also how they're going to see you as not just a student, but also an individual. And as I often tell everyone, the college admissions process in the United States, particularly highly selective colleges and universities, is more subjective than ever. And this is sort of the very embodiment of a subjective response, as long as you keep it well written, well structured. Again, have an intro statement with the thesis, a body to support the thesis, and a conclusion that goes a step beyond the thesis. I think you're going to be in really good shape there. You have 300 words, so it's a mini essay, but it's still one that's of value. And then the last question that's optional is the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, CALS, is dedicated to exploration of the agricultural, life, environmental, and social sciences, and welcomes students with interests that span a wide variety of disciplines. Given our agricultural history and commitment to educating the next generation of agriculturalists, please share if you have a background in agriculture or are interested in pursuing a career in agriculture, regardless of your intended major. And here are the three options you can click. If you click on none of them, nothing will happen, and you'll just go on to being done the supplement. But if you click on any of these three options, a new writing field will show up. And it's like amazing, it's magic, right? My family owns or operates a farm. So if that is true, check it. If it is not true, do not lie and do not check it. If you can say yes to this answer, you should check it too. Here's the second question. I have experience working in agriculture. Again, if you do not have it, do not check it. But the last one, you can wing based off if you want to answer this question or not, which is, I have an interest in pursuing a career in agriculture. Again, hopefully you've left it vague enough where if that's the only option here of the three that you could potentially answer, and then you've already answered the earlier essay about what you ultimately want to do and has nothing to do with agriculture, you probably can't check that one either. But in the event, you have a window of opportunity or vagueness in terms of your long-term goals, or if you were explicit about wanting to work in agriculture, you can check that box as well. Either that box or the two earlier boxes would open up this new window. It's not going to open three new windows. It's going to open one new window, and you have another opportunity to share more details, 300 additional words. So basically, you have one more additional essay that you can write for CALS, which is an amazing opportunity. I always say never miss an opportunity. And this is another amazing opportunity to differentiate yourself. So if you obviously just check on my family owns or operates a farm, all you have to do really there is explain what that's been like and the details as much as possible. And I would also try to add on how it's affected you as a person and as a future professional in terms of your long-term goals. Maybe you say, my family owns a farm, I'll always be connected to the world of farming, but I don't really want to go into farming because it's a hard life. I don't know, but you could still fill out that essay. But hopefully you'll say something along the lines of, I sort of want to continue in one way, shape, or form, continuing contributing to the world of agriculture. And so I think that is a wise decision, even if you don't really want to. But if your family owns a farm, you check that box and you answer that essay. Same thing with I have experience working in agriculture. And third, again, the easiest one to check, because the one that would apply to the most number of applicants, is I have interest in pursuing a career in agriculture. Then you have to say, please share additional details. You need to show the details here. If you only check that third box, I have interest in pursuing a career in agriculture, now you're going to have to prove it, because you have 300 words sitting right in front of you that you have to write that better make a convincing enough case of how you see yourself wanting to work in agriculture. Don't just write this if you completely are blowing it out of where. If you really are faking it, then don't do it. I would rather you not come across as completely inauthentic and contrived. But if you can make the case based off of your past activities and the way you've communicated in the previous 2 essays, or if you really have an interest in dabbling or going headfirst into the field of agriculture, this is another opportunity to really make a very strong closing argument that CALS is right for you. CALS is a unique school. There's not that many schools like it, particularly at an Ivy League school. There's nothing like it at all. So as a result, you really have an amazing way in here. So I don't want to call it a backdoor way in, because it's not like the school is so easy to get into, but it's also not that in demand either, because let's face it, farming is not that popular. And for those who farming is popular for, they're not usually looking at Ivy League schools. That's not to be mean one way or the other. That's just a fact. I mean, a lot of people who have to go work on their family's farm have to start working on their family's farm right away. Or they would maybe go get a degree in business so that they can run it better. But maybe they already have enough experience in agriculture. They may not be going to an Ivy League school that has a College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. So for all these reasons, CALS is a really unique, interesting school. If your end-all, be-all goal is to go to an Ivy League school officially, arguably you would want to look at the public colleges at Cornell and be able to make the case. That's the key, is be able to make the case that you're not just using them for Cornell's name, but you're actually interested in and committed to continuing for 4 years at that school and then getting a degree and earning it in that field, and then ultimately working in that line of work. As we've talked previously in my How to Get into Cornell essay, you can't really fake it when you have to write these 650-word essays. In the case of CALS, they really want to make sure you're not faking it, because they give you 2 other opportunities to show different facets of your interest in the world of agriculture. And if you can knock all 3 out beautifully, you are going to get a really good read at Cornell University. And if you have the other objective strengths, like your grades, your scores, everything going well, you're going to be in a really nice position to get into CALS. But CALS is, of course, not for everyone. And if you're being honest with yourself, you got to ask yourself, is CALS the right fit for you? But I did this video in particular because CALS, I think, is a special supplement. It has additional opportunities to differentiate yourself. And it's also a really unique way into Cornell University. And I'm also a big fan of the farmers and those people who do work in the world of agricultural life, environmental, and social sciences, the majors that are all sort of interspersed within the world of CALS. And for anything else, if you've watched this video and you want to learn more about CALS, I encourage you to go to the website for CALS, because it's an interesting school. They don't have many like this, particularly, again, at an Ivy. So it's definitely worth learning about, educating yourself about, if for no other reason, just to be a more edified, thoughtful person as you enter the real world. But particularly if you're trying to be strategic and also thoughtful about what schools are the right ones for you, it's good to know about these programs. And then if you end up applying to these programs, it's good to know how to knock their supplements out of the park, which I hope this essay has helped you do. It's not an essay, actually. I hope this video has helped you do. Essays are on the mind. My name is Craig Meister, the College Meister. If you're interested in learning more about me and how you can work one-on-one with me in order to receive my college admissions coaching services, definitely visit collegemeister.com. If you like this video, click the little thumbs up button below the video or subscribe to my channel. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I wish you the best luck in terms of getting into the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences at Cornell University.